Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's illustration, I decided to go with a slightly steampunk themed artwork. Now, it's not completely steampunk, I just wanted to have a few little aspects that were the same. So yeah, pretty much the cogs are down the bottom on the wings of the little aircraft, and the little, like, I don't know, things that connect them. I don't know, I kind of just made it up as I went, but yeah, that's pretty much, I don't know, I just wanted to add little different kind of visuals to my drawings, because just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, for the idea of this drawing, I basically just randomly had a thought, you know, it would be cool to draw a drawing of a girl and her friend in a plane, right? Like a little bird plane thing that she kind of created herself, I guess. And she's having fun flying around, and he's kind of terrified. I just thought it would be a cool idea because, like I said before, I really want to push emotions in my artworks, and I don't always want to have a sort of stale smile on my characters' faces. I want them to show emotion and feel things and like make you laugh or whatever. So yeah, I thought it would be pretty funny to have him sort of pooping himself. Not literally, just figuratively, you know what I mean. But yeah, I thought it was a cool idea, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. Now, the little contraption bird plane thing that she made, I kind of just made it up on the spot, so it's probably not going to be, shall I say, realistic. But this is fantasy, and it's my creation, so I can do that if I want. Now, as you can see, I'm lining the piece with my Copic Multiliners on some espresso blending card, and I wanted to use a couple different colors for the liner. Mainly black for all the other stuff, but I used the purple, it's actually called Wine, for her hair, and I used a pink one, which is called Sakura, for a little scarf, and I used the sepia color for his hair. And I just like to do that sometimes because it's just something different, something fun, you know. Now, I wanted her hair to sort of flow in the wind to sort of insinuate that they're flying directly down, or almost directly down. So that's why her hair is flying up like that, and his is a little bit as well. But of course I didn't want her hair to cover up his face, so that's why I kind of made it go out to the sides like that. But I actually really like that it's like not completely symmetrical and one part looks kind of longer than the other. She doesn't have uneven hair, that's just where the sort of bangs of hair kind of went, I guess. And now for my favourite part of drawing, the colouring. I don't know, sometimes when you add colour, it kind of just brings it all to life a little bit. I know that's really cliche to say, but it's kind of true. I started off doing the background, a sort of generic kind of sky look, and I actually really like that because there's a lot of detail in the whole piece, so I thought, you know, a nice blue sky with a couple little clouds would fit nicely. And now for the plane, bird plane thing, I wanted to do it a sort of metal texture, but I didn't want to do like a grey, so I decided to do like a brown kind of metal, I guess, like brass or copper or bronze, that kind of esque thing. I don't know if it's that kind of metal or if it's like a made up kind of metal, but yeah, that's what I wanted to go for because in a lot of steampunky kind of stuff, oranges and browns are kind of a reoccurring thing, so I wanted to add that in my piece as well. first I used my sand colored marker, and then I went over it with a couple of yellows and oranges and a little bit of brown in the shadows. And yeah, I actually really like that because the sand kind of desaturates the oranges a little bit and makes them look more like a browny kind of orangey color. And now for the characters, I mostly used soft sun for her face and a little bit of sand and raw silk as well. I used mostly purple tones, pinky purple tones for her hair. And yeah, I actually am very happy with how her hair turned out. I wanted it kind of light and airy looking and a bit shiny because she's in the sun, and I think that worked a little bit to my favour. Now for his hair, I mainly used the sand coloured marker and some really light yellows as well because he's sort of got a blondie kind of colour. Now as you can see, the little windscreen of the plane thingy, I coloured in the parts that was behind in a lighter colour because I just wanted to show that was glass there and it's reflecting a bit, so it's changing how those bits look. And I actually like that because it kind of draws attention to that spot, and it's like, yep, this isn't just a blank space, this is like glass in front of it. And yeah, I coloured their clothes very simple because I wanted to not add too much detail and over clutter the piece, because a lot of the time if you add too much detail all over the piece, your eyes don't really have anywhere to rest. So that's a good tip for anyone. And now for the wings of the bird planey thing. I really need to think of a name for this contraption. I wanted them to be dark because the whole piece was very light and I wanted to add a bit more contrast. So I decided to go for a very, very dark grey, almost black colour. And I used different, slightly different tones just to make sure that there was a little bit of shadow, but I wanted it mostly dark. So I coloured the wings and the tail of that thing all the same, and yeah, I actually really like how dark they are because it kind of stands out, and yeah. Now colouring around their hair turned out to be very tricky, so I made sure to be very slow going around that, making sure I don't ruin the whole piece, and that was probably the most scary part of the artwork, and I'm actually glad that I went very slow because it turned out alright. And now that I've finally got most of the grey all over the piece, I just went over again with some darker greys and some blacks just to add a little bit more shadow. And then what I actually did after that was I put a little bit of very light yellows in the highlights. And that's because even though the wings are a blackish kind of colour, they're not going to be devoid of colour. And on the other side of them is going to be obviously the sun, which has very warm light. So they're going to be reflecting that a little bit. And yeah, after that it was just minor touch-ups here and there just to fix little bits here and there, like the skin tone and some shades, and add a little bit more saturation to those yellow parts. And yeah, I'm actually very happy with this artwork. I think it turned out better than my usual artworks because, I don't know, lately my artworks to me feel a little bit less up to my standards, but this one I'm very happy with. I'm actually happy with all of them, but this one I kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit, and yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below what you think, and maybe you should tell me what I should name this bird contraption plane thingamabob, because I think that name is way too long. And yeah, so thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.